Well, we're trying something new here at Geek Out Loud on the YouTube channel. This is a preparatory, celebratory live stream. This is a test on your safe place to geek out on YouTube. This is the Geek Out Loud YouTube channel. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the it's a test of it's a preparatory test so we can have tomorrow an awesome live stream of the Geek Out Loud. And yeah, look at there, it's there live. I'm just checking to see over on the YouTube channel if that's actually happening there or not. So we've got a lot of fun things that that I'm doing that are kind of new. So let's address this question first. No shades, no, because it's just a test. This is just a test. When we're doing live streaming, preparatory streaming, or when we're actually doing the celebration, there will be. And also, I'll probably have some different lighting. That's the one thing I don't quite have set up here, is a little bit of different lighting. I've got some different lighting now for some things, and so I'm pretty stoked about what we'll be able to do here. Yeah, so no shades, no shades. Rusty Owens missed listening to this. You're talking about me or the Super Friends theme? Because there was a new Geek Out Loud drop in the podcast feed today. The podcast, of course, is now on Spotify as of today as well, so that's pretty exciting. I am using StreamYard, trying this out. I really like being able to see I've seen other people have the comments up, and Andy, you got your old little headshot there and everything. So I've really tried to up my game with some of this stuff, because I really do enjoy. Don't recognize about the shades. That's Chewy's Cantina. And so we'll do it live. Here's the thing. I'm not good at anything. I get that. I am absolutely mediocre at everything. That's kind of the joke amongst everybody. So as I'm sitting here doing all this stuff, I'm just trying to make things as better as I can. And I've got stuff falling apart over here. Our pets' heads are falling off. And so look, we're being held together right now with spit and baling wire. And the whole thing about this room that you see me in right now, you see one corner, I could show you there's a pile right here that is just a mess, where I've been steady crafting. I want to talk about it tonight a little bit, but I'm also going to talk about it tomorrow on the celebratory live stream. Also, Hasbro Pulse is having their big fan fest tomorrow, so there's going to be all kinds of action figure news and stuff, which will be exciting. Hey, for everyone who's with us right now, thought you might like to know this. Hello, Chip. Mediocrity works. Just strive for mediocrity. That's a t-shirt. Rock Out Loud, we recently did our favorite songs from Smallville. That was our last episode on Rock Out Loud. My good friend Derek from Starkville House of L got in touch with me and was kind of giving me a hard time on my choices. So I said, "Hey, buddy, you want to come on? You come on. We'll do this live. We'll do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live." And so we're going to have him on the next Rock Out Loud, and we're going to redux the Smallville music. So clear some space. We need to do another Back to the Wax Packs. We sure do. And I got to tell you, Chewy's Cantina, that'd be our good friend Lucas. The thing about the Wax Packs is, I know that you had that you have some cosmic cards, and I was kind of just perusing to look and see. You got to let me know what year those are, because apparently all the superhero cards just like overnight shut up in value, like for these boxes and stuff, and it is ridiculous. Like I had for the longest time on eBay a series 3 box of Marvel cards just kind of sitting there. They were a decent price. They weren't, a great price, but it's like if we got in a bind, I was just going to snag them. They tripled in price. Everything like that did, and I don't understand. I mean, I'm sure it has something to do with the pandemic, and so but who knows? Who can really say? I can't really say. So anyhow, that's kind of what's happening tonight. Starkville is the Marvel DC crossover site. Starkville House of L. Yeah, so that's going to be great. Steve and Derek back together again should be fun. Look, pandemic took its toll on all of us. Can we say pandemic on YouTube? I don't even know if we can do that. And so yeah, I don't know. I got to tell you straight up, I'm batching it right now because my wife is out of town. And I really thought, I'm like, well, I'm just going to live like a bachelor. It's amazing what you can't go back to in life. And so this was supposed to be a lot earlier, but I had responsibilities and chores to do. So that's what we're doing here. When will I get the podcast with you? Well, Andy, get back with me in a few years. Starkville is named after Howard Stark, who modernized the engineering college at State. Oh, well, okay. That's good. That's great. And then how does the DC end up there at Starkville House? Oh, because of the Starkville House of L. Let's see how this is going to work out over here now. Much better camera shot. Little bright there, little bright and shaky there in the box. We're going to have to figure out something else to do. I've got lights falling off of this thing, and I meant to find some tape and tape it up before I started going. I'm telling you, Scotch tape and a little bit of spit is what's holding this thing together. These are, as you can see, some Marvel Legends figures. And what I've got up there is Doctor Strange. This is a Toy Biz. I think I've shown this before, but I'm just so excited about it. It really is. I really am excited about it. When these days, Geek Out Loud has always been about, hey, what are you excited about? Look how fat I am. So big. Geek Out Loud has always been about, hey, what am I excited about right now? And I got to be honest with you, in my life, there's been a few things that have transpired in my life. There's been heartache and pain. Can I sing on the, will they copyright strike me for singing? I better just do that. I want to know you. I'm looking for tape. Does anyone have any tape? Where's Rocket Raccoon when you need him? Does anyone have any tape? Zari, that's the dog. Do you have any tape? I bet I just really disturbed him by talking to him. He usually sleeps the day away while we're in here doing this thing. I thought I found some tape. Anyhow, I've gotten really excited about action figures and stuff because of people like Father's Figures on Instagram and people like Just Jay Hernandez on the YouTube. These guys, Father's Figures does incredible action figure photography. Let me see. Here you go. This is him at Instagram. That's old Bo Katan there, and that's a Black Series figure. But you see how he does great work there. And let's see, there's some other action figure folks that I follow as well on it. My Instagram is now just filled up with toys and such as. But one of the things that happens is, like, for the longest time, my whole deal was you buy an action figure, you open it, or you hang it on the wall, and if you open it, you may set it out on a shelf and just get it balanced there, stand there. And honestly, it's like, there's a part of me that's like, why was I even doing this if I wasn't really going to get into how cool some things could be? This is a Instagram user, 6-inch Legends. That is a customized cape on a Marvel Legends Doctor Doom from the recent Fantastic Four series. I can't really tell because of the lighting there, he may actually be be the retro version, but I don't think so. I think that is the version from the Fantastic Four way. But that's 6-inch Legends there on Instagram. And let's see what else we got here. But these people are doing amazing things. And then I saw, as I said, Just Jay Hernandez, who does great work on some of his videos and stuff. I've got a video here I'm going to try to pull up momentarily. This is Customs by Match-U. That's Match U, Match and the letter U, Customs by Match-U. You can see all his stuff here. I'm going to pull this one up, and I love what he's done here, because like basically he's got a display shelf. Oh, that's not it. How do I go through these? Can I go through these? He had a series here of pictures, and they were like, it's Spider-Man and all of his rogues gallery. Well, y'all know what, the ongoing debate in the Golaverse is who's got the better rogues gallery, Spider-Man or Batman. And I kind of say Spider-Man. And what he's got is a shelf full of just Spider-Man rogues, and as you go through them, it's absolutely amazing. It is like, you really do see just what a great rogues gallery Spider-Man has. But anyhow, I digress on this. So as I've just watched people like doing these posing things and everything, and learning about flight stands, for crying out loud. Come on, man. This has revolutionized the way that I do things and pose things. And so this Doctor Strange here is something that I never thought that I would kind of do, because I was always scared of customization with figures. It's like you get what they give you. You pay for it and you get what they give you. And I was always a little, kind of like, I don't know. So can I hire someone to read my office, get all my figures posed for me? Well, here's the thing. The thing is like, wait a minute. Shout out to the hat. Thank you. You know what? I started wearing this kind of hat a couple of years ago. I was joking with my wife about wanting to wear this kind of hat. And let me get Dr. Strange off of there. And this one is like a nice kind of black and gray. It's almost a dress one of these hats. I don't know what you even call this kind of hat. And so I just for the first time bought a new one the other day. So let me come back to this Doctor Strange though here, and show him off. The lighting is very much all up in his grill and stuff. So this cape is a wired cape, and it was custom made by a guy in a crafters group on Facebook that I'm a part of, because of the Craftsman, Steady Crafting. And look at that. I mean, like, here's what he came with. Let me see if I can find what he came with. Here's what the original figure back in the Toy Biz Marvel Legend days was packed with. Now look, that looks great. It's got some cool folds to it and everything. It's got some neat little details, like the Eye of Agamotto there and everything. But it is a heavy rubber thing. And so these Toy Biz Marvel Legends from back in the day, their joints are so loose because of the way that they did so much posability with these guys and everything. And so I got this dude to do this cape, and he did it for a really great price, because I can't sew, but he also, like, you can see where he painted the decorations, the trim on there and everything. And it just fits perfectly and looks so great. And you can make it flow out like that. So you end up getting to actually use the bits of articulation with Doctor Strange that you couldn't use originally. Let me see if I pull this back, if that helps at all. What if I tilt that down? All right. So that's a Doctor Strange. Now, what I have up here now, and I read, is 2/3 of Spider-Man and his amazing friends. This Firestar is relatively new in the Marvel Universe. We'll talk about her in a minute. This Spidey here is from not the Spider-Man retro collection, but just the and these flat stands will do this sometimes, but the Marvel retro collection. And let me up my game there. And so see, now you can see the top of the thing. So anyway, yeah, this dude here was just, he's really a cool figure, but he's outclassed complete. He's the same mold and the same, what they call it, I don't know, the same build as the what they call the Pizza Spidey. And this was kind of the standard for Spider-Man figures for the longest time. And he's really good and posable. He's got what they call the ab crunch and everything. And he's got these wall crawler hands there, as well as some web shooter hands there. And now look, hi guys. And now he's just shooting that web right there. He's got some great ankle articulation and stuff, but he but Hasbro has retooled their Spider-Man, and the new Spider-Man that came out in the Spider-Man packaging, the retro wave, really is a superior figure. And that's another thing. As you get to where you're posing these guys and everything, like you learn like the very nuances of posing and all. And by the way, this is a custom web from a guy named Bendy Webs with a Z. You can find him on Instagram as well. Got a lot of cool custom webs out there that he does. And so, and because the hands are removable and stuff for swappable hands, like you just kind of loop them over the peg, loop the leg, and then you thwip. You're off, man, thwipping away. So like time is thwipping away. So so this guy's got a very like smooth and kind of very comic book matte finish to him. And so he really does, to me, I think he's going to fit well if I can ever get an Iceman. And they did just do an Iceman. Marvel Legends did. But check this out. Angelica Jones herself, old Firestar. Firestorm is DC. Firestar. She's great. This is a really cool figure. Marvel Legends has always had some issues with the female stuff. They never do like a waist bend with them, and seldom do they get an ab crunch. So you're just dealing with some arm, shoulder, and knee and ankle articulation. But she's got two heads. She's got this head, which is more of the comic book head, because of the frill on the mask, and then she's got a more that goes along with the cartoon look for her as well. She comes with these little fire accessories and a couple of extra hands, and it's just really cool. Like this is a figure that like very simple in the look and everything of her. I mean, she's just just yellow with some red trim basically, and that high collar, that high 80s collar. But what's great is this character here, you know what? Let me come back to me real quick. This character here, she is one of the few figures that, or one of the few characters that Marvel, I don't even know if they did this with anybody else, but maybe Jack McGee a little bit in some ways from the Hulk TV show, but they put her in the comics after she was on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And she became a staple. And then she was in the New Warriors in the 90s, along with Night Thrasher and Speedball and Nova and Namorita. And who else was in that? Who else was in the old New Warriors? Where's my Firestar related? I don't know if she's related to Jessica Jones or not. Scott D, what's up? I do need Iceman, Dave. That's right. Yeah, I don't know if she's related to Jessica Jones or not. Who was in New Warriors? You had Night Thrasher, who was kind of he was a Bruce Wayne type character. He was rich and he had a tragic past, and he was all sad and up in his feels and raging with the bad guys. So this was them back in the 90s. The New Warriors. Namorita, that's Namor's cousin. Kid Nova, which is actually just Nova, it's Richard Rider. Speedball. Now, Speedball's an interesting cat because Speedball, he's right there underneath Nova. He was introduced in a Spider-Man annual. Well, I I totally just broke the StreamYard because I was getting over here to check to see if anyone else had commented anything. Speedball was introduced in a Spider-Man annual during the Evolutionary War, and his whole power is that he bounces basically off of things. Kinetic energy. He builds up kinetic energy and bounces around. He's kind of like, or he can be kind of like Black Panther's suit in the Black Panther movie, where every time it got hit, it would build up that energy for a big energy release. In fact, I believe it's in this first issue of New Warriors. They're breaking in somewhere, and what he does is sticks his arm in a ventilation shaft and just bounces it back and forth real fast in there until it blows up. But then you've got Night Thrasher, who's the dude front and center down the bottom. Like I said, I can't remember the cat's real name, but he was an unhappy dude. And then the one I was forgetting was Marvel Boy. Vance Astro, who would later go on to be in the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Excuse me. A little bit of a dry throat there. I'm so sorry for that. Good thing this is just a test and not the real deal, huh? So, my feet basically just walk between the double facing mirrors. That's exactly right. That's exactly what happened. I wonder if I can do that again. Watch this. Whoa. So yeah, learn how to do that. So that's fun. I bounce off of things, but I don't build up energy. Exactly. So one of the things that has happened recently, my friend Lucas, Lethargic Chewy's Cantina there. You can be part of the Chewy's Cantina group by going to geekoutonline.com/cantina. And there you can see Chewy's Cantina has recently set up a new YouTube channel for themselves. So, wow, this cough is just crazy, and I don't have any water in here with me. I'm so sorry. Let me let me bring you over here to this empty space. Crazy. People tell me it's allergies, but I've never had allergies. But then apparently, all of a sudden, I do. So, so yeah. But anyhow, Lucas called me the other day, and he has a friend here in town that runs a bit of a pawn shop type deal, and he'd made some finds, and I forgot to pull one of the things off the shelf on to put a comparison with this. And the dude had a bunch of toys from the 90s, literally 90s toys galore. And a lot of what he had was some Power of the Force, Star Wars stuff. Now, in all fairness, the things were in pretty rough shape. It came out of a collection that's been sitting apparently in a barn for a while. So, so a lot of the cards and stuff were messed up, which is fine because then you just get to open them up, and that's cool with me. So, so I couldn't help it. I picked up some great 90, because I recently found, and we talked about this on the Back to the Wax Packs we did. I recently found my 90s Toy Biz figures, and or late 80s, early 90s. And this is all from kind of the first wave. This is the Hulk, and I got a few Spider-Man there, and Captain America, and Daredevil, and Doc Ock. And so it was just really cool. You know, I'm like, well, you know what? This could supplement that collection. I can put those on a little shelf here. The problem with this room, and I almost started this while ago, and then I got off track, is this room is so packed with stuff, and everything is so precariously balanced that the minute you try to do something new, it could all fall apart like a house of cards. And also, I am terrible at doing things. I am terrible at about doing much of anything. So, what time will the live stream be? Your guess is as good as mine, Stephanie. What time is it for you where you're at right now? Here in the States, it's 11:30 on the Eastern Seaboard. It's 11:30. What time is it where you are? It's 11:30 on April the 8th. So on April 9th, I don't know. I hope to do it tomorrow afternoon. I've tried to get all my chores done today so I could do that. We're expecting some weather, which could end up being a problem, you know, as always happens. So I hadn't really considered a time. I just kind of thought I would do it, you know, time as I got to it. I didn't think about people needing to know what time it is. It's 1:30 p.m. on Friday. It's Friday, gotta get down. Okay, so 12 hours from now would be 11:30 a.m. where I'm at, 1:30 a.m. where you are. 15 hours would be 2:30 where I'm at, and I can't do that math in my head. 4:30 a.m. where you are. What if I try to do it by 7 a.m. your time? Which would be I don't know, 1:30, so 4.5 hours later, 5.5 hours later, I'm sorry, from now, plus 12, 17.5 hours, 11, so 11:30 plus 5.5. I'm doing time math and it never works out great, which would be like 4 my time, I guess. 4. How does that work? We'll try to shoot for 4 o'clock start time, Eastern Standard Time. I guess we're on Eastern Daylight Time. Yeah, Stuffity is an Aussie, and he's one of the best Aussies I've ever known. So don't work around me. I'll just tune in. But I want to work. But Stuffity, like you're one of my big. That's 5 Eastern. Thank you, Shaz. The Stuffy's another big inspiration for this channel because of all the work he does. Now I could never be the video producer and creator that he is. So that's why you get amateur hour with me, with a little webcam and a chintzy photo box to show some things off. So let's see how this is going to work now. Anyhow, so in that box of 90 stuff, here was one thing. This is one thing. This is the thing. And he is in his disguise. Oftentimes the thing would go out in disguise, and I'd say in disguise. He would go out, you know, in a trench coat and a hat and a fedora, trench coat and fedora and sunglasses to, I guess to try to blend in, but he's so big. I never could figure out, well, how does he think he'll blend in doing this? So let me try to see, thing trench coat comic. Let's see if I can find a good image of this from the comics themselves. It's actually drawn up in the comics. Yeah. Oh, here we go. You know what? I'm going to show you a comic that is one that has a special meaning in my heart because it is one of the first back issues of comics I ever bought. This is Fantastic Four 296, and it has the thing in this disguise. This was 25th anniversary, Marvel 25th anniversary, and all the comics that month had this border with these different characters on it. But Thing front and center. This is actually a cool issue because, and it was fortuitous that I picked that issue up and I picked it up because it had the Thing on the cover. I was curious about this character. I knew that he had been on a T-shirt that floated around our house as a kid, when I was a kid, and there's peg holes where the eyeglasses go, but they seem to still be sitting kind of lopsided on his head. But I wanted to know a little bit more about him. I was curious to know a little bit more about him. And so it was fortuitous that I picked that book up because that book recounts the origins of the Fantastic Four, as well as you kind of pick up in the middle of the Thing is having a well, guys, he's having a hard time in life. He's not happy. He's left the Fantastic Four, and he is he's doing his thing. So it's an annual. No, it wasn't annual, but it was oversized issue. So yeah, so it was $1.25. So I don't know where that came from. $1.25. So it was I believe 1987. Where's Justin when I need him? Justin is a great comic book expert as well as you, Shaz. So I feel like Michael Chiklis did a good job as the Thing. He did do a good job as the Thing. It was some good stuff. Now, anyways, so it was a cool comic, but this thing here is a throwback and I have a Toy Biz Marvel Legends thing that I meant to grab off the shelf to show, but I'm bound to my chair because that's where the microphone is. So and I don't have a lav mic, a little clip-on mic like a lot of people do. And that's a choice. That's a personal choice I'm making to not go down that road. So yeah, so let's see what else is in here real quick. Because I picked up several things. This has actually got a pretty good card to it. This is black suited Spider-Man, the black costume. And this is actually just a repaint and a repack. And you can see this is the classic animated series card that they've been redoing lately. Let me pan up. I won't pan down after she does it. So talk about rock characters. Oh, Joe from Rule the Galaxy. I went on my whole rock character diatribe. Here's the thing. The Thing is not a rock character. The Thing just has rock-like skin. And truly, 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 it started out, and this is even said in a comic somewhere, because it was when the old Thing, what was that issue? Franklin Graham, not Franklin Graham, Franklin Richards, somehow transported through time an earlier version of the Thing, and he ended up fighting himself. It was a Marvel 2-in-1. Marvel 2-in-1, Thing versus Thing. Let me see here. And yeah. And in that, they're talking about it, or maybe it was when Miss Marvel, who I guess they took to calling She-Thing at some point. Maybe it's when she turned into a Thing. But you can see here, this is the Thing versus the Thing, and only one shall survive. I have this comic, I think, somewhere in my repertoire. Anyhow, they mentioned that early on, Thing's skin was like dinosaur skin and not so rocky. So you get the sense that he kind of evolved, and as that skin, that dinosaur skin, kind of dried out, he became more rock-like. It's so thick and stuff. So he's not a rock character per se. So he's not like the Rock Lords or the Geologies Need on Gold or the Rock Lords or the Rock Warriors. He is he's more like the Thing. So, and he's not like, other characters that are just rocks. Anyhow, back to this Spider-Man. This Spider-Man is a repack of this. Let me find him. Of this version of Spider-Man. He's actually he's got a little bit better articulation in his arms and stuff, but he has the same. Okay, so he's not a repaint per se of this Spider-Man. This Spider-Man, you could pull out. He had this gimmick where you pull out the chest right there, and then you could like hook it up somewhere on a wall, and he would climb. And then he'd only get so high before the motor ran out of power in there in him. I mean, it's look, this is a 20-something-year-old toy, 30-something-year-old toy. So you can't really demand too much. But I think this Spider-Man has that same gimmick in him. Let's turn around the back and see. No, it's a different gimmick. You can hold Spidey's legs and pull out the chest plate until the string is fully extended. Yeah, that's right. It's the same thing. And then he climbs up the string. So yeah, he's a web climber just like that. But it is a little bit different body. It's a little bit bulkier, and his arms has some articulation to him that the other one, that the original, that old one doesn't have. So yeah, so I picked that up, and that's one of the better cards. And you could see it's still kind of wavy and has some bends and stuff. I'll probably still open it. What was the rock thing from Galaxy Quest? Was it just a rock monster? Rock monster. Wasn't there one called Balboa? Well, no, hey, that's Rocky. So, what's big red and eats rocks? I don't know. What is big red and eats rocks? There is the rock. Okay. Now we're derailing. Now it's a classic episode with the folks hanging out in the chat. That's what I like to see. That's how I like these things to go. All right, let's see what else we got down here. Oh, this is fun. Oh no. I don't know what that was. Actually, this is pretty cool. This is another one where the card was actually okay. This is Dr. Doom on the old Fantastic Four card. And I think, and I could be wrong about this as well, I think this is a repack of the we'll pan up so you can see that whole card. I'll pan down after it does it. I think that this is a repack of the Toy Biz version of Doctor Doom that was on the classic Superheroes Toy Biz card. So a big red rock eater. Okay, so back. Okay, what's big red and eats rocks? A big red rock eater. Okay, okay. Anyway, I think that this is a repack of that Doom because I never had that Doom, so I wouldn't know. But you can see he's got shooting arm action. His arm actually shoots out. So that's maybe it is a different gimmick. You know what? Let's find out, shall we? Let's do this. Whoa. I'm trying not to cover up the thing back there. All right, we'll pull you guys out. We'll just leave the thing standing back there. Let's find out, shall we, about the old Doc Doom situation and the Toy Biz. So that one had shooting arm action, Toy Biz, Dr. Doom. My Google Foo knows no bounds. And images, there we go. This comes courtesy to us from Amazon, I guess. Yeah, it's a totally different Dr. Doom. It's got a different action and everything. So I'll pull this up to show you exactly what's going on here. Whoop, there's the thing. That's not me. There you go. So you can see this Dr. Doom came with like a whirligig thing, and it would whirligig power-driven weapons. But I think that there was something going on in his arm or hand that you would spin, and it would cause the thing to spin, and then whirligig on out of there. So that's where we're at. Let's see what we got. I'm bummed I never find figures like this around me. I would, you know what? If I don't have it in me to get up early to go after toys, or I would in a heartbeat. I like the idea of getting up and hitting some garage sales. And what's going on, JV? JV has always given me props for using up-to-date things like a boomer. So maybe he'll enjoy this. What does Scott say? Speaking of rocks and rocking, for many years, I thought the lyric was, I want to rock and roll all night and part of every day. You keep a shine, you keep a shining. I want to rock and roll all night and part of every day. Yeah, but just part of every day because you got to get some rest in there somewhere. Even the rock god's kiss have to get some rest in there somewhere. All right, let's see what else we got here to pull up over here. So this is one that actually came in a 2-pack, and he's got some kind of gimmick with him. He came in a 2-pack with Spider-Man, but I got him because it was the only thing where I could actually get this dude, and you'll see why he was important to get in a minute. This is the Human Torch. Not a great figure. I mean, you can see the flames are painted on him and everything. What I should have done is gotten down all of my Fantastic Four figures. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. And I can't even get him to stand. Let me. Oh, he's got some peg holes in his feet. That's weird for a figure these days. All right, he's standing up there. Also, check this articulation out. So this arm bends at the elbow like you'd expect here. You know, let me come to this camera and do it. This arm bends like you'd expect at the elbow. Bend straight, very tight joints. This arm is kind of like back and forth, like windshield wiper. Whoop, whoop. He's waving. Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm the Human Torch. Stop. I don't know what the rules about singing on YouTube are. If it's just me singing a few bars of something, I don't know. I really don't know. So that's the Human Torch. And really, like, like, these figures represent in a lot of ways the last of the got to use your imagination figures. Like I say, in a lot of ways. What's they say? A friend needs a thing, needs a friend there. He's long. Well, he's got it now. Rule the Galaxy. I want to come back and address this. I never find figures like this around me either. This is one of those things that, had I not known Lethargic Chewy, I would have I would have never known, never gotten to this lot, and gotten the pick of it or whatever, just because I never find things like this either. And so imagine my joy when I did. And it's not even like I say, I never really collected these figures. These were a little bit after the time when I was going for some of the stuff. 300 subs, we cut a figure with scissors. I'll do that. I guarantee I can find a figure that I'll cut with some scissors. I'll do that if we get to 300 subs. All right. Here we go. Here's the next one. The next item, God forbid, but the next thing I pulled out, and I haven't really played around with this dude too much. I don't even necessarily like this character, and they're doing something weird with him right now in the comics. Oh, is there something? I'm sorry. Hi, I started playing with a toy. This is he's got some sticky on him. I need to wipe off. This is Dragon Man. Dragon Man is an android. He's not actually a man or a dragon. I snagged him honestly out of greed. He was he's got one Marvel Legends figure, and it is the most expensive Marvel Legends style figure that is out there. He's not, and it's not even in it's in a set that I didn't even know existed in Marvel Legends. Dragon Man Marvel Legends. And during the Toy Biz days, they had several different lines that they were rolling out that were really kind of, they were under the Marvel Legends banner. You had the Spider-Man's Classics, which was honestly the first Marvel Legends style figures, the Spider-Man Classic figures. And then they did X-Men Classics, which I've got an X-Men figure I think I'm going to try to pull off the shelf tomorrow to show some things. In X-Men Classics, they had a really cool Cyclops that for the longest time was one of the best Cyclops you could get. Now he's not that great compared to what's come out. The Archangel they did was just amazing, and I have that one, and I loved the look of it back then. But now even the Archangel they've come out with since then is that much better. But we'll show them off. But then there was this guy. I didn't know they did a line of Fantastic Four specific Marvel Legends style figures, but they did. And this guy here, Dragon Man, is in that line, and he is the most expensive. I was seeing Posable down there at the bottom. Most expensive Marvel Legend figure really that's out there that you're gonna find. So honestly, getting confused about what I had there, I was like, I'll grab this guy and flip him maybe. So I got greedy. I thought like a collector for a moment and not like a fan. But it is cool to kind of have a Dragon Man character there. He's a pretty nifty little guy. His tongue does something, but I can't figure out exactly what he's supposed to do there. The card is gone. It was really nasty. There were a lot of those cards. I mean, like, there's no other word for it. They were just nasty. These things had sat in a barn for a while in these cards and boxes, and so you had chicken feathers and rats and all kinds of other stuff. So Zoo, the Tube Crew, it's the Zoo Tube Crew is what it is. Yeah, Mark, well done. You cut a figure with scissors, either you jump to 400 or drop to 200 subs fast. Well, here's the thing about that. There is a contingent of people out there that if I pulled a figure out and cut it with scissors, they'll be, oh my gosh, that's horrible, that's terrible. But then I'm not going to pull out like a vintage Boba Fett, you know. If I like I said, I'll cut a figure with scissors. There's a lot of caveats to that. I'm not going to cut, you know, a Battlestar Galactica Starbuck or a vintage Luke Skywalker, or even, you know, or a current day Marvel Legends figure. You know, but it is fun sometimes. But then too, here's what I'll do is that'll encourage me to be steady crafting and maybe even customize a figure. So let's go back to the box real quick. This is one I'm excited to open, even though the card is actually not in bad shape. This is Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. And apparently his arms stretch. And I don't mean, like, most of the time when they would do stretching gimmicks for these toys is they would have like little joints and you could extend them out and you'd see like the peg extending between the joints and everything. This, check this out. Well, I'm going to pan down after done. Super stretch arms. I'm sorry, what? Super stretch arms. That's correct. So apparently this dude's arms stretch. So now the question is, when do I open him? Do I open him right now? I think I do, ladies and gentlemen. I think I do. Anything going on? Rose Tico. Nope, I'm not going to do a Rose Tico. That's been done. I'm not going to steal someone else's gimmick. That's rude. All right. I mean, he came off that card pretty easy. I didn't even have to do any cutting. Very little tearing on that card. Thought that I was going to keep it. All right. So he's got a harness because it was the 90s and everybody had to have pouches and such. So that's definitely thanks, Rob Liefeld. Lord, hold on a second. This is really creepy. Let me get something out of here and do this. There was a fly behind him there. I think it's dead. Man, given where this thing came from, there's no telling what that fly's been on. So, all for the trash. All right. So, oh yeah, he has no articulation. It's just rubbery, stretchy, and they don't really stretch that much. Like, I'm scared to pull. I'm afraid they'll pull off. So yeah, they don't stretch like a Stretch Armstrong, but they do stretch. But man, I'm kind of scary. His legs have some articulation to them at the knees. So we'll put him in there. Look at there, Reed Richards now there with the rest of the gang. So that's pretty cool. And let's go ahead and pull this guy out of here. He is one of my favorite characters in Marvel. This is a thing without the disguise on. He's got his big onesie. It's not really a onesie. It's a pants in a tank top. It's almost like a wrestling get up. That is the cartoon version, I believe, from that 90s cartoon. And so I think in that he had that tank top on, but he also was known to wear that in the comics from time to time. He wasn't always just in the briefs. so to speak. So yeah, so there's the thing, another thing, and now you got to have the Invisible Woman, who doesn't appear to want to stand up. Let me see if she doesn't have peg holes either. So, trying to get her to stand over here. There we go. There we go. So yeah, so there you got your Fantastic Four and Dragon Man. So those were some fun little finds that were there at the place. So, you know, I do like the framed photos over my shoulder. Oh yeah, those I got off of. That was like one of my first ever Etsy purchases. I don't know how I stumbled into those. I also have a Boba Fett one that's not up there because there's no room, and I was trying to make room all over the place for some other comic book style artwork I have. So, yeah, let's see if there's one more. There he is. I'll pull this guy out. Now, this is what's interesting about this dude is, oh my, he is discolored, and I don't know if he's discolored because of the conditions in which he was kept, or if it's just the thing. But it also appears to be the same mold as that Johnny Storm Fantastic Four, because as you'll see, hold on. Sorry, up and down. And then, hey, I'm the Silver Surfer. Windshield wipers. Yeah, so I guess the whole idea is that he would get on a surfboard like that. And I do have his surfboard right here. Let me get his foot put in there just right. Oh, he gets a nice stand, and he's kind of walking like an Egyptian with his hand like that. Is that okay to say these days? Oh, look, he's got ankle joints, just like Johnny did. So yeah, this is the exact same mold as that Johnny Storm. Doesn't quite have I'm so used to a certain type of articulation with the ankles, you know, after messing around with the Marvel Legends so much that I forget. And these things you've got to put in at the same time. Anyhow, I say he's a little discolored because he's got a golden hue to him. And I thought that was just the lighting the other day at the store we were at, but apparently it is it's what we call discoloration. But he appears to be what they call vac metallized, and it comes with this little removable ring where you can actually wear it. If you were a kid, you could put it on your finger and fly him around on there. But I just disconnected it so that he will sit straight. So Shaz Bazaar says, I never understood the Silver Surfer. Oh, Shaz Bazaar, my friend, that really amazes me. I would have thought that he would have been right up your wheelhouse. He is the closest thing to a Jedi. Honestly, I believe this. He's the closest thing that the Marvel Universe has to a Jedi. He is, I mean, he's from the planet Zenla, for crying out loud. So yeah, he is, he himself is a little bit Zen and a little bit rock and roll. So yeah, there he is, surfing the byways. A bushy blonde hairdo, surfing USA. I don't know. He looks all right. Let's get him here under this better light and see. I don't know. Maybe it's just him reflecting all the different surfaces around him, because there's a lot of brown and stuff in this room. He doesn't look too bad there, does he? That's actually a good looking little figure compared to, and I think I do have this guy nearby. Excuse me. let me do some posing here while I'm a poser. I really do like that Silver Surfer a lot. I like the look of him. Now up close, earthquake. Up close, he's not really great to look at because of his limited articulation. Whoop. Sorry, everybody. I should have cut to a different kind of deal there. Anyway, just surfing. Well, he surfs the skyways. You know what? I think the idea was that Kirby, when he created this dude, I don't know if he was surfing or his kids were surfing. I really don't know why he chose a surfer, but all the other Heralds of Galactus didn't really have that gimmick. They just kind of flew. Firelord had a stick. Terrax had an axe. So there is not the most recent Marvel Legends Silver Surfer, because the most recent Marvel Legends Silver Surfer is the one that is like from Silver Surfer Black or what have you. So, but this is the one that was in that Walgreens exclusive Fantastic Four line. So basically, Hasbro has done Silver Surfer twice now in the past few years, and it's always been a Walgreens exclusive. So that's kind of shady. So those are a few of the things. There's a couple other things we'll show in the celebratory live stream. So I prefer back metal as well. Mark All says it best. We draw the line at surfing, stretching, and flaming on. No questions. But surfing for sure. IMAX. I get. Yeah, this is definitely in the IMAX mold into there. I gotta tell y'all, look, this is not a great shot, and the lighting in here is not the best in this thing. What if I turn it down a little bit? Well, that's turning it up. What if I turn it down? How's that? That looks a little better, right? Still not quite as focused as I'd like it to be. So if we jack it back up, though, look, there's it takes a minute for the thing to adjust. So anyhow, yeah. So the gloss and cut. Exactly. That's what this is the gloss and cut, which I'd like to talk more about the Snyder Cut. I'm actually going to try to have Kristen on a Geek Out Loud at some point. I'd love to get Dave Jones on, because I know he's pretty passionate about it and everything, and excited about what went down with the Snyder Cut. And Kristen is like over the moon impassioned about the Snyder Cut. So we're going to try to have her on as well and do some stuff. The gloss and cut is no editing at all in one shot. Exactly. No, we don't edit. One take glossing over here. So, yeah. So tomorrow afternoon, probably around 5 Eastern, maybe a little earlier, we're going to be celebratory live streaming, and hopefully I'll have some other lighting and some stuff set up, and we'll talk more action figures and everything, because again, that's kind of what I'm excited about right now, are these action figures. And it really comes down to learning how to do different poses, doing some of this customization stuff. And look, and it even spills over into some of the Black Series stuff. When it comes right down to it. Look at this guy here. I mean, come on. Do you really want to mess with an Ewok that's ready to fight like that? Look at that guy right there. So he needs some better lighting on him for sure, because he's way. But anyhow, yeah. So do you really want to mess with a guy like that? So yeah, learn to do some of these poses. I've even done it. I can't get to him, but I've even done it with a Vintage Collection Mandalorian on a tiny itty bitty flag stand. And he's up and he's got his gun. And he's looking down. And he's getting ready to shoot. So yeah, it's revolutionized the way I do toys. Here's the thing. I will say, we all love we all love the old school 3 3/4, 5 points of articulation, and you'll never hear me bashing vintage Star Wars figures in any way. They were very special to me as a child and in my childhood. But I think because of their limited articulation, the way they would stand or not stand, basically. I mean, look, let me grab this guy here. There's your basic Admiral Akbar. you can't. The cruisers can't repel firepower of that magnitude. You thought I was going to say it's a trap, but I didn't, because it's a trap. So may the force be with us. You see the forest moon of Endor is surrounded by an desert. Anyway, Admiral Akbar does ASMR. I remember when we were approaching the Death Star. Anyhow, so this dude, if you stood him up on a shelf, like literally, you may get his command baton in his arm and hold it up like that, or you might find a gun that you can put in him, and you may even try to get a little fancy and put him, standing there looking to the side, kind of thing. And if you really had some stands and stuff, you could put one leg up, put him in a kick line. But generally, these guys would just stand right here like so. And I think for me, as growing up with that, G.I. Joe had some articulation. You could do some things with them, but and also too, let's be real. Back then was playing with the toys, not so much setting them up and posing them. And when you got through playing with Star Wars toys, where'd they go? Back into the Darth Vader carrying case or the vinyl carrying case, depending on what you had. So, imagine the same old Star Wars figures were made the way the G.I. Joes were. Yeah, well, exactly. It would have been very cool. And I even had a friend, this was the first time I'd ever seen customization. It was when the girl that lived next door like dremeled out the elbows on a couple of Star Wars figures and put some kind of peg in them, and so they could do that. And I thought that was just sacrilege and blasphemy. Star Wars figures didn't move at the elbows like G.I. Joes did, and I never wanted them to. That's the weird thing. It's like I understood that the Joes were cool and that they had that, but I never wanted my Star Wars figures to do that necessarily. I just kind of accepted that they didn't. But then so you come now, you flash forward, 30 some odd years to today, and wow, 30 years, 20 some, 29, 28 years. I don't know. How long's it been? You flash forward to today, and that's kind of what, for the longest time, my figure collecting was. It's like, well, now they just stand here. You put them in a neutral pose, and that's where they stand. But man, it's so much cooler when you start actually messing around with them, and they've got different gimmicks and stuff that comes with them. Even this guy, this is a bulky. He's literally just he's got ankle joints, he's got knee joints, he's got a thigh swivel because that's where the legs. This is a Build-A-Figure Thanos. That's where the legs plugged in. He's got a little bit of an ab crunch. He can go back and just that much forward. He's got just a tad bit of head modulation, but still, like, you can do stuff with this dude. Like, you can have him, punching down on Captain America, and Captain America, you could set up a Cap to hold his fist back and that sort of thing. He's got a very neutral looking face, so I wonder if no, that just makes it worse. He's got a very neutral looking face on him, but still, he's all right. But so even something like this is a minimal articulated thing that you can still do so much with just by like turning his head to look at that, like he's ready to snap those fingers, he's ready to do it. You can get him in a bit of a power pose, and never would have thought of that though until I started following some of these people on Instagram. I've been following Father's Figures for years, and honestly, the stuff he does with toy photography, I was always like, well, that's nothing I can't do anything like that. I don't have that kind of imagination. I don't have that kind of ability. And honestly, it was just Jay Hernandez on the YouTube where I saw his stuff. I saw his figure reviews, and I was just like, this guy is doing stuff that's blowing my mind. And so honestly, it kind of started with me just copying him. Like, I'm not going to lie. A lot of my stuff on my shelf, I was ripping off some stuff that I'd seen him do and that sort of thing. But now I just look and I start kind of seeing, well, what can I do here? Can I do my own thing? Is this something I can make happen? and I've even started thinking about diorama building. Is this something? And so I've started looking into tutorials on building some dioramas and stuff and seeing how that goes. And because it just, like, honestly, is it playing with toys? Yeah, sure, it's playing with toys. Look at this. Look at this amazing thing, though. I want you to see this. Look at what this dude has done with a scarlet spider and some bendy webs. That's amazing. 796 Studios. I mean, it's just like, I mean, give that guy a like on that. That's beautiful. That's an amazing piece of work there. And you can see he's got the custom webs. These somehow got hooked down there looking like he's holding on to. There's probably a flight stand there that has been edited out, which is fine. But then you see how he's got him like bent around back there. Like, that kind of stuff just fires me up. And so what I find myself doing is I find myself going back to comic books and looking at the way that some of these guys looked on the comic book page, and then trying to mimic that in real life in 3D with these figures. And it's so much fun. It is just it's a blast. I have such a good time doing this. And so, am I playing with toys? Okay, sure, I'm playing with toys, but I'm also having a great time doing it. Let me show you a couple of things that I did as I was trying to test out some lighting and things. Now I'm going to brag on myself a little bit. So let me pull some of this stuff up. Yeah. First of all, who knew they could do this? Look at this guy. This is black suited Spider-Man on wall crawling hands, and he's hanging upside down. He is doing a handstand. That's awesome. I did that. All right. So I was testing some lighting. Look at this guy. Look at Frogman. He just looks like he's bebopping along just as happy as he can be. I would have never posed him like that. I would have had him just standing there, just flat out, like hands to the side. I might put a hand out like, hey, he's going to get you, you know. But I would have had him on the shelf, just standing there and been like, I'm so happy I got a Frogman. I think he's so funny looking. He's so cool to have. What a random thing for them to do. Frogman. Who would have thought? And he would have just been standing there like this. Look, let me show you. Just like this. But instead, look at this. Bebopping along. How cool is that? And you got a black suited Spider-Man in the back, like leapfrogging on him or something. Leapfrog. Leap spider. Look at that. Now, then my problem was, I'm like, well, that Spider-Man's too low. I need to get a little higher. So that's when I brought in the old colorful Spidey for a splash of color. And well, there he is again. And brought old Spidey in with a splash of color. Let me see if I can pull this down a little bit. There you go. And did that. Look at that guy. How much fun is that? Spidey playing a little leapfrog while he's got his web slung behind him. This is the thing. Like, this has really just kind of revolutionized the way that I mess with the toys and everything. And it's been fun. It's been a good time. So I would encourage all of you to absolutely, do that. And the frog looks like he's in rehab. What's really cool, look, Daniel, look at this. This is one of my favorite things about this guy. Let me go back to this camera here and see if I can pull it up and show you. There's not going to be enough light there. Let me pull up the picture. Is the picture there? Yeah, let me pull up the picture and show you that. You see there in the frog's mouth, you see that white that's there in his mouth? I don't have it where the cursor's on. But that white is the eyes. This dude's wearing basically a mascot mask. Here, I'll zoom in for you there. Look at that. It's like a mascot suit, and that's where his actual face is. So you're seeing his eyes there in the mouth, and it's just absolutely, to me. And look, the character himself, and this is what's funny, because I'm going back through the Marvel, the Marvel stuff on the Marvel Unlimited app. And I've just read where the first Frogman, along with a couple of others, are being employed by this dude who's like planning all these big heists. And there's like an ape man, a bird man, a frog man, and a cat man. And not to be confused with the cat man from Kiss. And And so when you read that and you realize that this version of Frogman is the son, apparently, of that Frogman, and he's just wanting to do right, to make amends for all of his father's wrongdoings back in the day. It's pretty funny. So, and then and he's just a chubby guy. He's like me, just a chubby old fella. So, anyway, well, guys, thanks so much for hanging out tonight, everyone. I appreciate you being here. And real quick, Jacob Roth, have you guys seen Godzilla versus Kong yet? It was such a blast. Here's what you need to understand. I have so much to say about this whole new Godzilla, King Kong monsters, kaiju universe that Warner Brothers has got going. I think that it is the greatest thing since the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I say that with no irony. I absolutely loved Godzilla versus King Kong. I think that it was everything Godzilla versus King Kong needed to be. So that's where I'm at. I would have loved to seen that in the IMAX theater. I think that would have been super cool to see in IMAX, because dang, Cletus, that would have been fantastic. So Scott saw it in IMAX. Anyway, all right. So gang, here's the deal. Tomorrow, live stream celebrating 250 subscriptions. We're going to maybe even mix it up a little bit, not just talk toys. We may do a little bit of I don't know how you do Big Honkin' Show style stuff on YouTube, because they will copyright strike my tail quick for the drops and stuff we use Big Honkin' Show style. But we'll talk about some stuff like that. We'll talk about some action figures. I'm going to try, like I say, a whole new setup with some different things and see what we can do. We'll see how we can make it happen. I appreciate everyone who stopping by and hanging out. And look at this guy right here. Look at this guy right there. That's old Jetfire. Jetfire is awesome. And I don't mean, I've got you can see just a little, there's the vintage guy. Look at that vintage guy right there. But this guy is like cartoon accurate Jetfire. So very cool. Twitch, I think, allows copyright music. Not sure. I don't know about any of that stuff. So, all right. That's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here on Geek Out Loud. Don't forget, you can email geekoutonline@gmail.com, geekoutonline@gmail.com, and patreon.com/geekoutloud. Thanks to all our supporters. One of the things that I hope to have tomorrow during the live stream is look at the credits of the supporters and trying to figure out a way to do maybe some private live streams with just the Patreon crew and that sort of thing. So thank you all for joining us here, and thank you for subscribing here on the YouTube and everything else. I really appreciate you guys doing so. It means a lot to me. And let's just keep growing. That's what I say. So until next time, I'm Steve Glosson. We'll see you on the next Geek Out Loud.